Hi, this will be a shop soon. Let's try it again. I need a workshop. This is currently a parking structure that I never use. So let's turn this into an outdoor, off-grid workshop. But don't ask questions, just follow me now.
I am spread everywhere, every which way, specifically with my tools way too thin, and it is time to just get my life together, which I am really grateful. I am partnering with my friends over at Ring, who I've worked with actually a ton before, to make over this space into a shop, but also DIY some security that is very unique for this situation as well. I have been a huge fan of Ring's stick-up indoor-outdoor wire-free security camera for quite some time now, but I will be focusing on the wired floodlight in my next vlog, but I want to dabble into the product that I really know and love this round.
Well, this is where the magic is going to be happening. I haven't had a workshop in, God, 3 or 4 years, so it feels nice to now use this as a space instead of parking, to have a place to like do all the projects for the renovation. Just a little long story short, the reason I need to build a workshop right now is because the tools are currently inside my house. We need them to be outside my house so I can renovate the room that they're currently in. Anyways, let me walk through just a quick little what I'm thinking potentially. It's so big. So one wall is just gonna be for like camping and just gear in general, which will be kind of over here. This is gonna be our power tool main wall. So like the main workshop table will be on the back with the pegboard. And then on this wall, again, will be just a little bit of storage, but we obviously need to enclose this first. I haven't figured out if I want to fully enclose it, if I want to enclose just half of it so I can get the nice natural lighting, because I'm not really going to be using this shop at night. It is a traditional tried and true desert workshop. And as much as this structure is like a DIY parking structure, we are going to just like fortify it to become a temporary shop. The first thing we need to do though is clearly the roof and the security of it. It's bumpy, moving and grooving, and we can't be having that because it can't be leaking. So let's tackle that first. Oh my God. Oh, this is, it's so bad. All right, but we're gonna try. Wherever there's a lip, we are gonna cut a 2x4 and we will add support and we'll get it to not be so crinkly. But this, we're just trying to get the edges good. Ooh, it's shaking. Sketchy. She said temporary, but chic. Please don't fall through, Rachel Metz, please just. This is so sketchy. Use your eyes, Rachel. Okay. 3/4. No, I just hope. It fits. Every project I do this with, I'm like, I could do this in 4 hours. I'm like, cool. No, you can't. It takes 4 days.
This structure was so questionable when we first started, but as we added more 2x4s and more support, it just started to really just strengthen itself up, which was really nice to see. I also loved having Shane helping me throughout this process, because in situations where I was getting a little stressed or I needed like extra strength or just a new fresh eye, he just consistently gave it to me, and I'm just really appreciative. So moving forward, we went ahead and instead of recycling some really weathered plywood on my property, I went and bought some new 1/2-inch ply, and we used that to DIY some walls up onto the framing that was available. Weapon on its own. It always makes me giggle that I think I have so much space, and then the minute I have walls go up or anything being wrapped like furniture, I realize how small it actually is. So once I started putting walls up, I'm like, oh, this shop is not as big as you thought it was, girl. I don't know who else is out there renovating or having a bunch of projects kind of moving at the same time, but for me, it is so overwhelming, right? When I put these walls up, even though we're focusing, or I'm trying to focus on the workshop itself, immediately my brain went to like, but what is the exterior of the shop gonna look like? Oh my God, are we stuccoing? Oh my God, where are we adding electrical? Like, it just fast forwarded into an area it didn't need to be. So I just rallied myself back in, just focus on one thing at a time. The inside of the shop is first. Oh, I could do this in 4 hours. I did not want to block off all natural light, so I want to keep this back wall open, number one, because those are the Joshua Tree National Park mountains. I mean, come on, they're stunning. And number two, I'm just gonna add that shade back to it and diffuse the light to let that be the lighting in the workshop.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was gonna open that and we would have been SOL. I just don't wanna spend money on paint. It's so expensive. I don't care. I just want this kind of off-white, so we're mixing all of my neutrals together. There are no rules here. I'm just throwing them in. Oh, except for that's a hot glue stick. It is very viscous. And I got a mixing 2x4. Okay, not so scary.
I actually commandeered this Wagner sprayer from Mr. Mike over at Modern Builds, and I've carded that video for you.
Wow, fancy. Whoa.
That man, he goes into every single notch of detail you can possibly imagine when he painted the exterior of his Joshua Tree house renovation series episode. So I will link that for you because I just went ahead and watched that and then used this sprayer. And what that really means is Shane behind the camera was telling me how to use it and priming it the whole time. Thank you, Shane. There's something about a crisp white workshop in the middle of the desert palette that just sent me in such a positive direction. When I started moving my stuff in that I've had for years now, from my garage makeover to my she shed, I have moved these cabinets with me, so I will link that for you. But that table base on the left is actually the workshop table base that was left here at the house when I moved in. So it's like been here with the original owner, building through the whole house, and it just makes me so happy.
I think we have to go like, it has to come like out and then push up. Oh, I knew it. I knew it fit. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Fun fact, Shane and I tried to move this to where I really wanted it in the workshop, which would be on the opposite side, kind of mimicking my workshop that I did ages ago at Paul's house. It doesn't fit. As much as I crammed and made Shane hold that thing up to the point of like exhaustion, it doesn't fit, fun fact. So we're gonna pull this out, put it on the opposite side, and once we have this cabinet situated on the outside of the shop, we're gonna go ahead and move in, but I don't wanna move into the shop without any kind of security. So we're gonna have to hang a couple of the Ring cameras to make sure we just got eyes and ears where I need them, which is pretty unique since we're like kind of DIYing this parking space into a workshop. So Shane, are you ready to move this? Also, before we dive in, this just gives me a little bit of hope. Just painting it white and having it like a clean space for once, just makes me see a light at the end of the tunnel for what's behind you guys. Like, I kind of feel like I constantly live in a dumpster fire, specifically because my tools are scattered everywhere and I don't have like a workspace per se. So now it's like really coming together and it's like making my anxiety dissipate immensely, which is, you know, win-win. Let's get this depression and anxiety out of here. Oh my God. Okay.
The plan that I told you in the beginning of this episode most definitely did not happen when I moved into the space because, as mentioned, once the walls went up and I stood in it, I was like, this is not as big as you thought it was going to be. I started to add this bamboo covering to the bottom half of that back wall to just prevent dust coming in, but also to add some texture and just a cute detail, because I don't think your space should like sacrifice design for the function. It can be both. There's a beautiful balance. Shout out to my dude, Dennis, the original owner of this house who built the whole thing. I am reusing as much as possible, and this shade covering comes right in handy because it is a perfect diffuser for the light for the workshop and just kind of weather resistance. Ooh, I know some of you saw those walls not trimmed down to the structure, but we'll get that in the next round, the next video. I started to move in to the workshop space itself, and it just made me feel way more at home. Of course, I added some details like this detour sign because now I am learning within the desert, you want to really secure all your things within the cabinets with the amount of dust that gets into the place. Whether you have an indoor or outdoor workshop, you want to dust prevent as much as possible. So I'm really just hanging up the tools. I don't really care if they get dusty, and I grab fairly often so they won't get dusty. Ask any human that lives in the desert, anybody. All of us have Ring cameras. Any which kind of Ring product you can think of, it is at our home. It is DIY because we live in such a unique space with all unique homes for unique reasons. We need eyes and ears everywhere. And that's why I turn to Ring every single time, specifically their stick-up cam battery operated one. Why is this my go-to? Well, let me tell you, we need eyes in the weirdest places out here. So having the ability to move this anywhere I want, anytime without worrying about the power or the weather because it's wire-free and weather resistant, yes, please. Installing it is easy as 1, 2, 3. Take it out of the package, make sure the battery is charged, hang it up on the wall, stick the battery in, literally turn it on, and it connects to the app flawlessly. I'm obsessed with just this line of product because I need to customize it to the maximum here. You can also pop into a live view on your app and see what's going on. You can have two-way talk with the person that is there, and you can even download high quality video of that security footage when needed. I absolutely love being able to go back onto the camera, not only for security purposes and to see what's going on, but honestly, to look at these life moments that really pass me by, such as Blaze and I hanging out in the shop. I didn't mention the star of the show, which is a no-brainer for me, is the motion-activated notifications, which is the main reason why I have Ring basically everywhere, to make sure my property just is protected. I highly suggest heading over to ring.com and checking out the huge array of products that they have for you to DIY the security system that works for you in your space.
I mean, it was a parking structure and now it's a shop. So I'm just happy that all my tools are in one place. Clearly this isn't like the end-all move-in situation. I want to decorate it. You know me, I want to add a little detail and decor. So you can come for part 2 in the next vlog so we can do all the pretty stuff, but I am blown away by the fact I can just be underneath something that doesn't leak. Literally can use all my tools, and it's safe and secure. I get to share this security with my best friend so she can make sure I'm safe while I'm working out here by myself in the middle of the desert. But I have a shop again. It's so exciting. Are you joking? And like the view? Crazy. Beats a garage 110% in the valley.
Watch that this single-handedly just like solves my whole year. Like all I needed to do was DIY myself a workshop so I didn't lose my brain. I swear. I mean, fingers crossed, right?
Let's go make this whole shop off-grid. Some solar.
I can't believe I have a workshop again. What in the world? Thank you so much to Ring for partnering on today's episode. Also, Shane, huge shout out. What the heck? I wouldn't have been able to get any of this done. And also, thank you guys for just tuning in again to yet another episode of Living to DIY with Rachel Metz, because we really are DIYing another life chapter over here. I will see you soon for another DIY.